Hi, Hiram here. Today I'm going to make those dehydrated beans that I dehydrated the other day, along with Spam again. A couple of days ago I did a What's for Lunch Spam and Beans, where I used a can of baked beans, and I said that usually I dry them out to take out on the trail. So, and I also said that you cook it a little bit differently that way, one thing before the other. But I had a couple of questions from people on this and remarks. Jpaho said that this kind of looks like bean brittle. I think that's a pretty appropriate term for it. Does look like bean brittle. Lastgameplay said, are the beans now real hard? Can you eat them as a snack dehydrated like that? And how long do they last dehydrated in a plastic bag? To be honest with you, I've never eaten these things dehydrated, but let me try here. Yes, excuse me. They are hard. I don't know. Once you chew them up, they taste like baked beans, hard baked beans, but I guess to somebody, they'd be a snack. I think I prefer them in water. Last Gameplay asked, how long will they last dehydrated? Now in this case, I just put it in a plastic bag because I knew I was going to use it in a couple of days. Normally, I dehydrate my stuff the week or so before I go anywhere, but I put it in either a vacuum Ziploc bag. This is one of those that you just do the pump thing on the end. Or I do have a couple of, beans won't go down. I do have a couple of vacuum machines that for longer terms I put them in that. And I don't know, I've never done a long-term one because I only make what I'm going to use. But I haven't had any problems yet with stuff that was several weeks old. I know I've heard of people that have it for the whole summer, stored away in this stuff. But that's just me. I just make it as I need it. So I've got 2 cups of water here, a little more than 2 cups of water. That's what I figured was taken out. Now if you want to visualize, this is a 2-cup measuring cup. That's how much water. Let's see, what can I put it with? Here's a can of Vienna Sausages. It was that much water was taken out of these beans. So I got boiling water here. Let me see if I can put this in without splashing it everywhere. Put the bean brittle in there. Okay, got it all in. Now once this is in here, I just boil it for a little bit and then set it aside so that the beans rehydrate. They're already starting to look like beans. Okay, so that was about just a skosh over 2 cups, not quite 2 1/4 cups. Let me see if I can show you this. No. Better use the I don't know, can you see that? They're still separate water, but as this sets, they'll re-soak up all that water and become baked beans again. So let me just set this on here for another second. What I'm going to add to this again is my favorite Spam. I use the single slice, which for this much beans isn't quite enough, but I didn't feel like opening up another pack or opening up the cans. I had just previously done a video on salt. Some people were complaining about how the stuff I was showing had way too much salt in it. Yes, this is true, but anytime you want to use a packaged food, it almost always seems to have lots of salt in it. I don't know why. In my case, I like Spam A lot of people like Spam. There is a light version of Spam, which says that it's 50% less fat, 25% less sodium, and 33% fewer calories. Now, I always thought that Spam Light was an oxymoron, but, you know, to each their own. I haven't tried it yet. I really guess I should. Probably should have put the simmering on this, too. Okay. Some other things you can do. Oh, those beans that I had there, that bag of the beans, was equivalent to this, 1 can of this. Not this can. This has a little bit more fat in it. But if you watch back on that dehydrating video, this was the same volume. Now there is other things, if you don't like Spam, that you can put into this. A lot of people, let me take this off. Just set that to the side. Okay, what I'm going to do now is start my Spam. I'm going to use the fry pan of this Ollie Camp kit. Now, even though Spam is fatty, it's not fatty when you start out. So I coat the bottom of the pan with oil or butter or something. Let that heat up. Okay, this actually goes on this. I was saying there's other things you could add instead of Spam. You could take along hot dogs, but then you have to worry about keeping them protected. A lot of people like Vienna Sausages. I got a can of these the other day to show with this. I don't particularly care for Vienna Sausages, but that goes back to my service days. But a lot of people seem to swear by these. Also, I showed in the other video, you can get stuff like this, turkey sausage snack slices. You could cut this up and put it in there. It's not quite as heavy in sodium, 470 milligrams, but still something that you'd think would be healthy. Turkey, for some reason they put a lot of salt in it. Okay, that's heated up. Let me pour my sliced up Spam. Now, in my other video with making my lunch, I had referred to this as raw Spam. It's not really raw, it is cooked. You could eat Spam right out of the package. Again, it's just something that I don't care for. I like my my Spam cooked up a little bit and made crispy. But again, there's lots of people out there that like it right out of the package, make sandwiches out of it. To each their own. I mean, a whole island of Hawaiians can't be wrong. They love this stuff. So let me fry this up, and I'll be back. Okay, it's all fried up now. I don't know if you can see that, I hope. There's grease in it from the Spam, so I like to pour that off. Again, this is up to you. This makes it a little bit healthier by pouring that all off. Now this isn't the shortening that I added in the beginning, because all that was just enough to grease the bottom of the pan so that the Spam didn't burn. This is all fat off the Spam. So, like I said, this makes it a little bit healthier. I'm trying to get away here. Now I really have to admit, this stainless steel Ollie Camp is really nice for cooking. Come on. There we go. Anyway, the Ollie Camp set is really nice for cooking in, the stainless steel. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Nice, looks like beans. Let's stir it up. Yep, looks just like it came out of the can, only hot. Can you see that? That was the stuff that was all dried out, dehydrated, and it's all reconstituted now. And this is from water. That was another thing. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but some people didn't understand the benefit of dehydrating your food. They said if you have to carry water with you, why bother? I'm sorry, I didn't mention that in the video, that when you dehydrate stuff, it's because wherever you're going to, you can get water there. So instead of carrying the water, you're just going to use the water at the site where you're at. The thing that comes in handy with this is you can filter your water, boil it to make it healthy, safe, and then put your beans in it. So it all works out pretty nicely. So I'll just take the Spam now, all nice and fried up. And this isn't quite enough for this amount of beans, but I didn't feel like opening up another pouch. Okay. Now one thing I like to do is I like to add barbecue sauce to it rather than ketchup. I'm a barbecue sauce guy instead of ketchup. So you just go to your local fast food store. They always give you too many of these. I just hang on to them, put them in the refrigerator. I'll put this in. Just like so. I know this adds more sodium and stuff to it, but this looks good. Different variations. You could put some dried onion in this when you're reconstituting it with the boiled water. You could do all kinds of things to this. Here, let me just pour some off here. Okay, hopefully that'll focus. See how it's all just right back to the way it was supposed to be. Yeah, I'm not going to try this now, because, well, maybe I will. What the heck? It's always too hot for me. That's good. So, there you have Spam. Excuse me. Spam and dehydrated beans. So, if you don't mind, unfortunately, Max doesn't like beans, thankfully. But if you don't mind, I'm going to go have my lunch. I thank you for watching. I look forward to your input, questions, remarks, helpful suggestions, your recipes of your favorite food, trail food. And excuse me. And as always, watch for my buddy Max. Bye now. Beans.